Welcome back, coin lovers. Today, I'm bringing you a deep dive into one of the most iconic chapters of American coinage, the wheat penny. From 1909 to 1958, these humble 1-cent coins became a cornerstone of everyday life, passing through millions of hands and pockets, all while silently recording the story of America across decades of change. In this video, we're counting down the top 5 super rare wheat pennies, all without mint marks and all considered in fine condition. We'll explore the 1935, the 1937, the 1944, the 1952, and the legendary 1955 wheat pennies. These coins may look ordinary at first glance, but each one holds secrets, quirks, and collector demand that make them incredibly special. From their historical context to their inscriptions, from their mintages to their errors and collector values, we'll cover everything you need to know. So let's jump right in. 1935 wheat penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1935 wheat penny comes to us from a time when America was still recovering from the grip of the Great Depression. Jobs were scarce, and money was tight, which makes this penny more than just a coin. It's a time capsule of an era when every cent mattered. The Philadelphia Mint struck these coins without a mint mark, and they became a staple in circulation across the country. Victor David Brenner's design still dominated the cent, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. Above Lincoln's head sits the nation's enduring motto, "In God We Trust." To the left, you find liberty, and to the right, the date 1935. Lincoln's face here is more than a portrait, it's a symbol of unity and hope, even in difficult times. On the reverse, the design is simple yet meaningful. The words, 1 cent, are bold and clear, with United States of America directly beneath. 2 wheat stalks frame the denomination, representing the agricultural backbone of the nation. And at the top, E pluribus unum, reminds us that America thrives on unity. The Philadelphia Mint produced around 245 million wheat pennies in 1935. That's a huge number, and at the time, it meant the coin was everywhere. But decades of circulation, pocket wear, and use have reduced the number of survivors in fine condition. In terms of value, a 1935 wheat penny in fine condition typically sells for 25 cents to 75 cents today. Higher grade examples, especially those with strong luster or uncirculated status, can reach values of $10 or more. The real excitement, however, comes with error coins. Doubling on the obverse, where words like liberty or in God we trust appear doubled, can skyrocket value into the hundreds. Other sought-after varieties include die cracks and off-center strikes. Collectors love the 1935 wheat penny because it represents a piece of history that was tangible to millions of Americans during one of the hardest decades in modern memory. It may not be the rarest, but its historical resonance, coupled with the thrill of hunting for error varieties, keeps it in high demand. 1937 wheat penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. Fast forward just 2 years, and we arrive at the 1937 wheat penny. America was still climbing out of the Depression, but optimism was returning. The Philadelphia Mint again produced these coins without a mint mark, and they quickly became another staple in everyday life. The obverse is familiar, Lincoln's strong profile, designed by Brenner, accompanied by, "In God We Trust," liberty, and the date, 1937. What makes this design enduring is how it marries art with patriotism. Lincoln, the president who held the Union together, was an appropriate figure to grace America's smallest coin, and his presence added dignity to an object most people barely glanced at. The reverse once again features the bold 1 cent between 2 wheat stalks. The symbolism here is rich: prosperity, agriculture, and strength, even during recovery. The inscriptions remain consistent. United States of America, and E pluribus unum. The mintage of the 1937 wheat penny was about 309 million, making it even more common than the 1935 issue. Despite that, finding one today in fine condition is still a treat, as the majority were used heavily until they wore smooth. In the collector's market, the 1937 wheat penny in fine condition generally ranges from 20 cents to 60 cents. Higher grade examples climb into the $10 to $15 range, while uncirculated specimens can reach values of $30 or more. What really excites collectors, though, are the rare errors. A well-known 1937 double die obverse variety exists, where Lincoln's features or inscriptions show dramatic doubling. Other errors, such as clipped planchets or off-center strikes, make these coins stand out and can increase their value exponentially. The allure of the 1937 wheat penny lies in its role as a representative of pre-war America. Within just a few years, the world would be at war, and coins like this would circulate in a nation that was rapidly changing. For collectors, it's a reminder of America's resilience and the continuity of its coinage. 1944 Wheat Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1944 Wheat Penny is among the most fascinating in the series because it carries a wartime legacy. World War II was in full swing, and the U.S. Mint was making crucial changes to coinage due to metal shortages. In 1943, pennies were struck in steel to conserve copper for the war effort. By 1944, however, the mint returned to copper, using recycled ammunition shells from the battlefront. That makes the 1944 Wheat Penny not just a coin, but a relic of wartime ingenuity. The obverse is still Lincoln's portrait with the familiar inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty," on the left, and "1944," on the right. The reverse features the wheat stalks, 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 1.4 billion of these pennies, which makes the 1944 Wheat Penny one of the most common issues of the series. Despite that, it remains extremely popular among collectors because of its connection to World War II. In fine condition, a 1944 Wheat Penny is typically worth about 10 to 25 cents. But here's where things get interesting. A tiny number of 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. These rare error coins are incredibly valuable, sometimes selling for tens of thousands of dollars. Even minor errors, like double dies or die cracks, can significantly boost value. Collectors are drawn to the 1944 Wheat Penny because of its dual nature. It's both common and extraordinary. On one hand, it's affordable and easy to find, making it a great entry point for new collectors. On the other, rare varieties like the steel error make it one of the most exciting coins to hunt for in all of numismatics. 1952 Wheat Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. By 1952, the Wheat Penny was nearing the end of its era. The Philadelphia Mint again struck millions of these coins, and the design remained unchanged since 1909. Lincoln's portrait dominated the obverse, while the reverse continued to feature wheat stalks framing, 1 cent. The mintage of the 1952 Philadelphia Wheat Penny was over 186 million. While not as high as some earlier issues, it was still enough to keep the coin in widespread circulation for decades. Today, finding a 1952 Wheat Penny in fine condition is not particularly rare, but it remains a sought-after piece for collectors building complete date and mintmark sets. Market value for the 1952 Wheat Penny in fine condition hovers around 10 to 20 cents. In higher grades, prices increase to a few dollars, with uncirculated examples fetching $10 to $20 or more. Error coins, such as die breaks, off-center strikes, or double dies, can command much higher premiums. The 1952 Wheat Penny is beloved not because it's the rarest or most valuable, but because it represents the tail end of an era. By the mid-1950s, the wheat design was set to be replaced, and in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial reverse took its place. For collectors, the 1952 issue captures the nostalgia of a design that had defined American pennies for nearly half a century. 1955 Wheat Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. Finally, we come to the 1955 Wheat Penny, one of the most famous and legendary issues in the entire series. The obverse features the same Lincoln portrait, inscriptions, and date. The reverse continues the wheat stalks, 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 330 million of these coins, but what makes the 1955 Wheat Penny unforgettable is its error variety. The famous 1955 double die obverse. On this coin, the date and inscriptions like "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear dramatically doubled, easily visible even without magnification. This error occurred because of a misalignment during the hubbing process, and only a few thousand examples made it into circulation. Today, it is one of the most sought-after error coins in the world, often selling for thousands of dollars, even in lower grades. In fine condition, a normal 1955 Wheat Penny without the double die is worth about 10 to 20 cents. But if you're lucky enough to find the double die error, the value can skyrocket to $1,000, $5,000, or even more depending on the condition. Other varieties, like minor doubling or off-center strikes, also command collector attention. Collectors love the 1955 Wheat Penny because it embodies the thrill of the hunt. Every time someone checks their change and sees a 1955 date, there's that spark of hope. Could it be the double die? That element of mystery keeps the 1955 issue firmly in the spotlight and ensures it will always be one of the most talked about wheat pennies ever minted. And there you have it, the top 5 super rare wheat pennies without mint marks in fine condition, the 1935, 1937, 1944, 1952, and 1955. Each one tells a story, from the struggles of the Depression to the resilience of wartime America, from the quiet years of the early 1950s to the legendary double die of 1955. These coins may only be worth a cent in face value, but to collectors and historians, they are priceless artifacts of America's journey. So next time you're looking through old jars of change or inherited coin collections, pay special attention to these dates. You never know, you might just uncover a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of wheat pennies, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another journey into numismatic history. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.